The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us once again here on the Low Fat Podcast. Dave and Matt speaking to you from our alternate bomb shelter studio. Nah, that's a lie, we're not even in a basement. But, yeah, we're still in the midst of the Minitine.
Why does everyone call it a lockdown? Why is it called a lockdown?
Because I guess no one's ever been on an actual lockdown.
Because it's not really a lockdown. There's a lot of freedom for a lockdown. I mean, that's the fact. That's a fact.
I mean, if this is a lockdown, I'm like, okay, send me to jail. Because isn't jail supposed to be locked down?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to stay in my house and eat a whole lot of food and get drunk
and be able to go anywhere I want.
Get paid, potentially get paid for staying home.
Well, so okay. What were we talking about?
Well, I was going off about how insidious Twitter is.
Wow.
And I didn't get to talk about it, but the journalists, not all the journalists, but...
Well, day two, okay. Get it off your chest. I mean, because it seems to me the only people on Twitter are Donald Trump, Barack Obama, a bunch of journalists, and then a bunch of porn stars.
Well, what about the political actors? Do they fall in any of those categories?
Well, see, I'm not on Twitter, so really I lied when I said journalists. There are journalists. The only people that I know of that are actually on Twitter are Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and a bunch of porn stars. So, you know.
I love how you just don't engage, like you've just never been on Twitter. How's that possible?
I refuse to be confined to, like, what's the number up to now?
I don't know, 180 characters?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I refuse to be confined to, 3 words. Well, I guess 140 characters is not 3 words. Is it kind of haiku-ish?
It really makes me worry about this society.
You should be.
Because it's like we're descending into this disordered state where everybody's sitting there panicking and running around like they're chickens with their heads cut off, and yet the people who are supposedly the quote leaders or people in power, they have no idea what's going on, but they're like, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.
Well, the sad thing is they're the result of the indoctrination that, especially in America, the indoctrination that I got, but the indoctrination that's been going on for at least the last 50 years, probably a little bit longer. So,
but you're not indoctrinated. I mean, you question stuff.
Yeah, but I'm also a person that the powers that be believe that don't matter. So, who cares whether or not I question stuff? I'm irrelevant. I mean, if the whole point is to make sure that there's a critical mass, that there's always a critical mass of people following you or doing whatever you say, then, you know, there's always room for outliers. And if I am an outlier, I'm also pretty much irrelevant. Nobody listens to me. Nobody agrees with me. Nobody's looking to me. And I'm not looking to start a movement. So,
but that's where isn't that where movements come from? They come from outliers initially.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Actually, you know what? First, you have to define what an outlier is. Because if you think of the communist...
Someone who's on the outlying-ish?
Because if you think of the communist movements...
Those
were all well-funded. Because...
By whom, though?
Well, the Russian commies, the Bolsheviks, were funded by the Germans.
Bolsheviks, that's the word I couldn't think of what they were called.
But, you know, communists in a lot of other countries were pretty much funded, well, after them they were funded by the Russians, but a lot of the people that followed that particular philosophy were children of wealthy people.
So not outliers then?
Not outliers as in the downtrodden dirty folks, no. If that's what you're thinking. Think of the American Revolution. They weren't a bunch of poor pig farmers. I mean, you know, John Adams, lawyer. Thomas Jefferson, rich lawyer. John Hancock. Wasn't he a lawyer too?
I just thought of another lawyer. I thought of Gandhi. He's a rich lawyer too.
Sam Adams, lawyer. And brewer.
Brewer?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Not a member of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team.
Makes beer.
But yeah, I mean, so the American Revolution was started by a bunch of connected folks.
Well, I think of an outlier as being somebody who's not part of the majority.
Maybe all the unsuccessful movements were were people that were really on the outside.
And those movements just never got going because they weren't funded, well-funded.
Well, because they weren't connected. But that's kind of neither here nor there. But
I mean, it's better to have. I mean, I guess it's in terms of order. It's better to have some kind of an order, even if it's. I forget. I was reading something, and there was some guy that was. I guess he was living during the beginning of the. It was before the Bolsheviks took over in Russia.
Oh, right after the revolution.
And he was talking about how
it was kind of a democratic society for about 6 months to a year.
He was living in some city in Russia where it was just basically lawlessness. There was like young men running around just shooting people who were walking around on the sidewalk and stuff. And he said it was then he realized that he would, even under like a Bolshevik regime, even though it was horrendous, he said at least there was order. Because he was like, if there's no order,
you're talking about the Tsarist regime.
I don't know what it was like before
If it was right after the revolution or the Tsar abdicated, then there was a small period of time where neither the Bolsheviks nor the Mensheviks nor anybody really had control.
Well, then
so it started out as a real democratic kind of era where people were trying to figure out who was going to get power and how they were going to run the society and whatnot.
And it just descended into chaos.
Well, no, the Lenin had German money.
Oh, that's right. The
Germans. And he had in Stalin someone who didn't mind getting his hands dirty and being with the criminals. So they wiped the floor with everybody else.
But would you rather like live in a lawless society with no order, or under some kind of like the boot heel of some dictator where there was order?
I will answer that question with a question. Well, not with a question, but with a statement that seems to make no sense.
Okay.
I think Ben Franklin said this. And bearing in mind, I have no love for Mr. Franklin because he's that bastard that thought of fucking daylight savings.
Oh, wasn't he the guy that wanted it to be a turkey instead of an eagle?
Yes, he thought the turkey was a noble bird. So I'm just for daylight savings, I'm hoping that Ben Franklin is roasting in hell. But he did say that... what?
I'm like, you can't say that.
Okay. Just for daylight savings, I'm hoping Ben Franklin's afterlife is not very nice.
That was your statement?
No. But Ben Franklin's statement was... I think it was Ben Franklin. I could be wrong. But any society... It might be any person, but anyone who trades liberty for safety deserves neither.
Ooh. See, okay. Well, I think we should leave it with that.
Yeah, because if you think it means something, you're probably wrong because it probably don't mean what you think it means. From me.
And if people tune in, will you tell them what it means?
No, I think if people tune in, they'll just kind of intuitively know what I think it means.
And hope everybody's doing all right out there, not losing their minds, not getting the cabin fever and all that jazz. And hopefully things will be back to a reasonable normalcy soon.
Bye.